Are you feeling the financial squeeze heading into 2024? Yeah, you're not the only one. Today, we're going to cut right through all that noise and build a super clear, actionable roadmap for your money. Okay, let's get into it. If you've ever felt like personal finance is just this giant, confusing puzzle, you are in good company. With all the conflicting advice out there and new trends popping up every 5 minutes, it's so easy to just feel completely overwhelmed. But what if we could unravel that mystery, you and me, right now? So, here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with the psychology behind our money habits. Then, we'll get practical and build a solid budget. After that, we'll tackle the big ones, debt and credit. Then, we'll look ahead at some future trends, and we'll wrap up with what is, without a doubt, the most important part, taking your very first step. Look, before we even talk about a single dollar, we have to start right here, inside our own heads. Because the real work, the foundation of it all, is our mindset. Our financial health is really just a mirror of our financial psychology. And what's wild is how common these mental roadblocks are. First, you've got avoidance. Come on, we've all been there, right? Too scared to even log into the bank account. Then there's social comparison, which some people are calling one more online, or OMO. It's that constant pressure to keep up with the highlight reels we see on social media. And finally, there's just that feeling of being stuck because you feel like you don't know enough. Just recognizing these patterns in yourself, that's the first huge step forward. Okay, let's pivot to budgeting. It's so easy to think of a budget as a cage, right? A list of things you can't do. But that's not it at all. A good budget is an empowering blueprint for your money. It's you telling every single dollar exactly where to go so you can start hitting your goals. Now, there are a ton of ways to do this, but here are two really popular methods. On one hand, you have the 50-30-20 rule. It's a fantastic, super flexible way to start, especially if your income bounces around each month. On the other hand, there's zero-based budgeting. It's definitely more hands-on, but it's an absolute powerhouse if you're trying to hit a specific goal, like crushing your debt, because you have to be intentional with every last penny. Let's take a closer look at that 50-30-20 rule. The absolute beauty of this thing is its simplicity. 50% of your take-home pay goes to your absolute needs: rent, groceries, utilities. 30% is for your wants, the fun stuff that makes life worth living, and a non-negotiable 20% goes to savings and paying down debt. It just works because it takes the guesswork out of your big decisions and builds a sustainable, balanced habit. All right, let's take a deep breath and talk about something that can cause a lot of stress: debt and credit. But here's the thing. We're not going to view this as some kind of personal failure. Not at all. We're going to see it for what it is: a hurdle that, with the right strategy, you can absolutely clear. And you have a whole toolbox to help you do it. You could consolidate a bunch of high-interest debts into one personal loan with a much better rate. If you're a homeowner, a home equity line of credit, a HELOC might be an option. And if things are really challenging, a formal debt management plan can give you the structure and professional support you need. So managing debt is one side of the coin. The other side is building up your credit. Let's pull back the curtain on that little 3-digit number that has such a massive impact on our financial lives, shall we? And when you break it down like this, you see it's not some big mystery. Look at this. 2 factors make up a whopping 65% of your entire score: your payment history and how much of your available credit you're actually using. Seriously, everything else is a distant second to those 2 heavy hitters. This is so crucial. If you only take away one single thing about credit scores today, please let it be this number: 35%. Simply paying your bills on time, every single time, is the most powerful weapon you have for building a fantastic credit score. Period. So what can you do, right now? 3 really simple things. First, try to use less than 30% of your credit limit on any card. Lenders love to see that. Second, don't close your oldest credit cards. That long history is actually really valuable. And third, go get your free credit reports and check them for errors. If you find one, dispute it. Okay, so now that we've nailed down the fundamentals, let's have some fun and look ahead. Let's see what's happening on the cutting edge of personal finance. You've probably heard this acronym buzzing around: FIRE. It stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. And at its heart, it's a movement all about aggressively saving and investing so that work becomes something you choose to do, not something you have to do, way sooner than you thought possible. But what's really cool is that FIRE isn't this one-size-fits-all thing. It has all these different flavors. Lean FIRE is for the minimalists. Fat FIRE is for people who want a more luxurious retirement. And then you have hybrids like Coast Fire or Barista Fire, where you might downshift to a less stressful job after you hit a certain savings goal. It's all about designing the exact life that you want to live. Speaking of designing your life, let's do a quick hit around on some emerging trends. First up, AI isn't just for Wall Street anymore. There are incredibly powerful AI tools out there right now that can analyze your spending and optimize your investments, basically acting as your own personal finance guru. Next, buy now, pay later. You see these options everywhere when you check out online. They're basically a modern twist on the old layaway plans. They're incredibly convenient, for sure, but they also demand some serious discipline to make sure you don't overspend. And finally, we're seeing this whole new financial world pop up around the creator economy. Things like digital tipping and direct payments to creators are totally changing how money moves around online, and it's opening up all these new ways for people to earn an income. Whew, okay, we have covered a lot. Mindset, budgets, debt, credit, even the future. But you know what? Knowledge is just potential. Action is where the real power is. So let's bring this all home. This ancient wisdom is really the soul of personal finance. You do not have to fix everything all at once. That's impossible, and it's overwhelming. You just have to start. You just have to take that one single step. And so I'm going to leave you with this question. Forget about the 1,000-mile journey for just a second. Based on everything we just talked about, what is the one small, concrete move you're going to make this week to start building your better financial future? Thank you for watching.